going to cut one of the sides just like an 1/8 of an inch, just a little tiny 1/8 of an inch on one side, this little piece, and then I'm gonna flip it and do the same 1/8 of an inch on this other side. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same to my 4 sheets. So here are my 4 envelopes, and as you can see, all the openings are on one side. So I'm gonna align these together. Make sure they're pretty much the same size. You don't want them to be different. Maybe I have one that's a little bit bigger than the other ones, so I'm going to just trim this one a tiny bit. Okay, so that way they're pretty uniform. So now my envelopes measure 5.5 on the width, and the length is still 5 3/4. So now I'm gonna grab my my cards that come with this package, and if you don't have these cards, then you can cut these to your size. So basically what you do is this measures 11, so I'm just gonna make sure this measures 5.5, which is the size of my card, and see how it's a little bit bigger. So I'm actually gonna trim this at 5 1/4, just to make sure that nothing is going to stick out. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut all my envelopes to 5 1/4, or no envelopes, sorry, the cards that come with the envelopes. And so for right now, I'm just going to do 4. I'll probably be needing a couple more or less after that. Okay, so let me start with this one, and let's start working on some layouts here. So the first layout that I want to do is just basically, I'm gonna grab one of these and I'm gonna fold these in half. Okay, and then I'm gonna use I'm gonna cut one up at 1 inch, just because I'm gonna need some connection pieces, what I call it. So I'm gonna need a couple of these 1 inch pieces. So I'm just gonna cut a few to half, because I'm gonna use that a lot. So just to half, I'm gonna cut a bunch of these 1 inch strips, and then these little strips I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. So here are my connection pieces. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue on one of the 1/2 inch sides and just place it along. Make sure your insert it's this way. So I'm gonna place it along the bottom. I'm gonna put one on the bottom, and I'm going to put one on the top. So I'm gonna hold these to dry for a second, and then I'm going to do the same on the top. And then I'm gonna grab one of these cards that I fold on half. I folded this on half, so I'm gonna add glue on the bottom here, and I'm gonna place this one closed right along the bottom as well. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this here and let this dry for a minute, and then I'm going to use the other card. Again, I'm gonna fold it along half, because these are cards are already scored on the middle, but if you're just using a plain sheet of cardstock that you cut at 11 by 5 1/4, then you will need to score these on half, which is 5 1/2. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same with this one. I'm gonna add the glue on my connection piece, and again, so I'm gonna glue along the opening top, just like that. And again, I'm gonna let this dry. So now I have a layout that it's going to go like this. See how we have the two cards? So I'm gonna put one up, one down, one up, and one down, just like that. So then when our page is almost like a, I don't know, like a double-sided waterfall, if you want to call it. Now if you have magnets, I would go ahead and add a magnet here, or you can also use Velcro. I always say that, you know, you have many choices, or you can use nothing at all. I mean, this actually doesn't stick up, and if you put like something like embellishment here, this probably won't open up or anything like that. But let me just show you how I add my magnets here. So I throw it in there, and then I put the sticky side up and just press and make sure it sticks. And here is my layout, and this layout is ready to cover with paper. Okay, so now let's flip it and let's work on the other side. So for this other side, I'm gonna grab that other card that I have, and I'm gonna cut this actually on half. So I'm cutting down at 5 1/2. So now I have two pieces, and then I'm just gonna score. Well, you have two choices. You can either use another connection piece for this side, like this, or you can just score here 1/2 inch, which is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to save those for a different layout. So I'm gonna go ahead and score here at 1/2 inch. Okay, and I'm just gonna place these along one of my sides. Now if you want, you can use a little border punch and embellish this side here, you know, before you glue it in. Now I'm not going to do that because like I say, I don't have a theme for this album yet, so I'd rather keep my options. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, so I'm not going to do that, but you're welcome to do that if you want. So I'm going to add one on this side, and then I grab the other piece, and make sure you have the right side, because they're different, they're not completely squares anymore. And then I'm gonna score at 1/2 inch again, and just add some of my glue. Now of course you can use your double-sided tape, and I'm just gonna add this one on the opposite side of my other one. Okay, so I'm going to clean my glue excess here, and just make sure it's straight. And here you go. So now we have another layout. So one page is done. So on this side you have the up and down waterfall kind of feature, and on this side you have a double opening. Okay, so now let's move on to the next envelope, and again make sure your opening is to this side. So for this layout, I'm going to use another envelope, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out. This is going to be a very simple way to add a side pocket to your album. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these to the side like this. Okay, and it's probably going to be easier for me to explain if I grab my ruler and see where there's like a little V here for the envelope. So I'm just gonna grab a ruler here. Where my V ends, I can just do a light mark with my score. Very, very light. And I'm gonna fold this in here. And then again, I'm gonna cut these all the way to that to your little mark here, so you know where it ends. Basically, that's only for you, to get a guide of where this will end. So this will end right about there, and then what I'm gonna do is just fuzzy cut this out. I'm just trying to cut this very straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and then let me just get this little guy right there. And then I'm going to score these at 1/2 inch on this side. Okay, so here's my page, and then this, I'm gonna fold it, and I'm gonna add some glue. Just right. I might have put too much glue, but here we go. So I add some glue, and I'm gonna place this on one of these sides here. Okay. Oops, it came out. Okay. So I actually want to make sure they're completely even. So here you go. So then when you open this, you open it to the side, and then you have a pocket here on this. See, and then you're gonna cover that with paper, so that's gonna, all of this is not gonna show, but there you go. So that's gonna be our layout for this side. Now I'm gonna flip this around, and let's try to come out with another fun layout. So I'm gonna grab another envelope, and again I'm going to seal this envelope. Okay, and I'm going to cut this right around 3 inches or so. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this at 3 inches. This one more time. Okay, so then I'm gonna have kind of like a little pocket here, and then I'm going to use one of these connection pieces. So actually this one's a little bit short, so I'm gonna use some of my scraps here and cut these the size of the length of your envelope, which is in my case 5 3/4. Okay, and I'm just making a new connection piece here. So I'm going to score these, and this actually measures 1 1/2. I'm just scoring right around half of these. There you go. It doesn't have to be perfect. This part is going to be covered, and again I'm just gonna add some glue to one side, and I'm gonna place it along one of my sides. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some glue on the other side and place my little pocket we just made. Now make sure the opening is to the opposite side of the side you're gluing it on. So just like that. Okay. So then we have a fun little flip here to the side. That is also a pocket. So then you can grab one of your cards, and let's see. So I'm gonna cut these. I'm gonna cut this a little bit more than half, I guess I should say. I'm gonna cut this at 5 inches, so just to make a piece like that, and this will go right here. So that's my next layout. So this opens up like that, and then this is also a little pocket. So I think this page is very fun. So I realized when I was editing this video that this last layout didn't record, and so I just want to show you what I did here. So for this last envelope, I grabbed my my sheets, my cards, and then I cut them in half, and I cut 2 of these. And then I score 1/2 inch on each one. So when you cut it in half, it looks like that. And then I score 1/2 inch. So I added one here on this side, one on this side. And so first I add one on the top and one on each one of these sides to create this layout here. And of course you can add a magnet, you can close it either way. And then on the back side, I added a pocket here. So what I did is I cut a 4-inch strip of paper, and the width, it's gonna be 1 inch more than the width of your page. So if my page measures 5 1/4, so this measures 6 1/4, and then you score 1/2 inch on the sides and 1/2 inch on the bottoms to make your pocket. Very easy, simple to make. All right, so now let's continue to how I inserted my pages into my binding. So all we have to do now is add our pages to our binding, and for that, first we're gonna add double-sided tape. Now you don't have to use double-sided tape. If you don't have to, you can add a strip of glue here. Now double-sided tape is a lot cleaner because sometimes the glue spills over and you can see it, but if you're careful enough, you can use your glue, you know. So then I'm gonna add it to both sides of my hinge, just like this. So I'm gonna do the same to all 4. So I have all my tape on both sides, and now I'm just ready to start adding my pages. So the first thing I'm gonna do is peel off the corner of my tape here to the side. I just like to get a little bit out of the side so I can manipulate my page and center it and make sure it's straight. If you take all your tape out, it's gonna be hard for you to manipulate. Okay, so now I'm just finding the center of my envelope, where my envelope is, and I'm just adding it here. Now don't go all the way down to your spine. You want to leave at least 1/8 of an inch. So basically you're just placing your sheet on top of the tape here. You take that out, then you turn it around and get the other side of the tape. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same. Peel off the tape, find my center. On the next page. Now, of course, you can change the order of in which we made these sheets, just whatever looks better for you. Or you can, you don't have to do all the sheets that I did. You can just stick to one or two and repeat those, as you feel more comfortable, as you are, keep practicing and keep doing this. It really gets easier. I mean, as you can see, it's not nothing difficult. So then again, find my center of my envelope. Place it, make sure it's even. We take that out, then we'll flip. And look at this. And there you go. And one more. Get this out. Place this in. Center. All right. So I think we are pretty much done with this tutorial. It was, as you can see, very fast, very easy. And for the front and back cover, you can repeat any of these layouts. I like to leave mine plain, so after I add my papers, I can either add a waterfall or just a pretty, display for a big picture. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think. And again, this is a blank canvas. You can do any design that you want. So this one opened up and down and up and down, and this flips to the side and the side again like this. So when you use these envelopes, these albums come quite quickly. So here you have a little pocket, and then remember that you have your page inserts here, so you can add a card. You can either fold it in half and use all of these layouts. You can add a pretty border or something to that, or you can cut these in half and just use one sheet. So that's that. And then here on this side we have this page like that. And let me show you, I have an example of that page here. So it's exactly what I did here. See that? So here what I did is, before I cover these with papers, I added a magnet. So what I did is I added a magnet here. So you add a magnet here, and it will shut close. So I think I'm gonna do that too. But then anyway, so here it opens up like that, and then you get all these layouts, so you can fit a lot of pictures on this album. This one is plain, and you can add, like I said, again, I'm going back to this example. You can add a little waterfall, and if you're not sure how to make these, check out any of my other mini album tutorials. I have plenty of waterfalls. Or you can even do something like this. This is just a plain page, and what I did is I used a recycled piece of acetate and then just make a little booklet to go in there. Just have fun, just make it your own. Just enjoy the process of making these albums. I really do love making this. And believe it or not, what I enjoy the most is the construction of the album itself. And then here you have a pocket. So I want to thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know. And if you ever want to share a completed project with me, I have a Facebook page called RosaKellyScrapbooking, all one word. Or you can always email me, send me pictures. I don't really use the YouTube message private message thing, it's hard for me to access that through my phone, and I only use my phone. I barely ever use my computer, but once in a while I'll check, so it probably takes a little longer, faster to reach me on Facebook or by email. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.